right, ladies and gentlemen, in betting we have several markets, and we've seen many people win different bets, while others lose, right? You'll say like something like Man City to produce over 2.5 goals. Somebody else has given City straight win. Somebody else played with a different market. You lose, City lose 1-0, but somebody else is winning. So in this episode, we're gonna discuss about different markets.
The best markets that you can have, and best markets that you can bank on, because not all markets are safe in betting. So it's not sure, these markets are not so sure, but they are markets that can give you money if you follow the discipline on your side.
All right, and we've picked 8 different markets. There are so many, but we've picked the easiest ones, and we'll be ranking them from number 8
to number 1. Right. And remember, we have had betting strategy number 1, where we were discussing teams that you are to avoid this season. Remember to check on our YouTube and go through them, because it's very important. We have saved many people out there who have been playing with the teams that we mentioned. So,
of course, like Manchester, right?
Arsenal?
Okay.
Was Arsenal on the list?
No. That's a big team.
Right, but yesterday, that day, they did give people the over 2.5 goals. Well, here we go. So we start with number 8 market. Number 8 market to place bets on that you can rely on is the corners. The corners is a very good market because you don't have to worry about the number of goals that will be scored in a match, just the corners. And you have to be careful on this one as well, because it is good for the teams that attack most of the time. For example, a team that has been doing well with the corners is Arsenal.
Yes.
So when you see Arsenal playing, and especially, and the way they play, they make those crosses across the goal, they produce a lot of corners. So you can either play team corners or total corners for the whole match. And I guarantee you that corners will not disappoint you.
Yes, and another market for betting, number 7, we call them combos. It is a word which you can refer, it's like a combination, right? You pick a certain market and you combine. And the good thing with combos is it gives you a huge odds. For example, let's say I'll pick like, I'll give an example like the corners you've used, for example. So I say Arsenal to win and to get 7 corners. 7.5 corners.
Yes.
So that means it's more than 7 corners, right? So combos, you can say, for example, now I'm giving Arsenal, when Arsenal are facing, let's say, Brentford, you say Arsenal to win. So that's one market. You combine that market with another market. You say Arsenal to win and over 2.5
goals.
So you've combined Arsenal to win and over 2.5 goals. So that's the market number 7. Go observe it. It has very good odds. Pick the normal teams which are they've been, for example, a team like Bayern Munich till end 3-1. So you can say both teams to score and Bayern to win, or both teams to score and over 2.5. Yeah,
that combo market is very essential, especially when you're playing with a strong team which is playing at home. And maybe the away team which is more likely to score. So like as he said, you can play, like let's say Arsenal against maybe Brentford.
Sheffield United, for example, how it produced 6 goals.
1 and over 2.5 goals. So that's a very good market. Then we go to number 6, fouls or cards. We've been talking about more of Arsenal, but now when it comes to fouls and cards, we know teams that play very physical in the Premier League, and you know them as well. So we are saying fouls or cards because it's almost related. When it's a foul, most likely there is a card. So for the cards, there is usually how the cards are usually like settled. For example, you can go for total cards in a game. Let's say, especially the referees don't like Manchester United so much. So they tend to like, they book Manchester United players match. So you can say like over 4 yellows for Man United, or over 4.5, meaning if Manchester United receive 5 yellows, you get your money. So remember, we also have red cards, and 1 red card counts as 2 cards for this market. And if a player receives a yellow, and then a red, it's treated as 3 cards. So a player cannot be booked more than 3 times. So that market is also very essential, especially you can target the derbies. Manchester United playing Manchester City, Arsenal playing Tottenham, Chelsea playing Tottenham, Chelsea playing Arsenal. Those kinds of games are in which you can play fouls. And even European games where it's very physical, like Arsenal vs Porto had so many fouls. So that market can save your life when straight wins are not working.
Right. Now, there is another market, and this you need to do research. And I'll advise people, we have the target man. For example, there is this guy from Man United, Højlund, who has been scoring goals before he got injured. He scored in 6 consecutive matches. So that market, we call it anytime goal scorer. So it means if you pick Marcus Rashford as anytime goal scorer and he scores, that's when you will win. So for example, you need to research, see, has Saka been scoring every match? Has Højlund been scoring? Has Haaland been scoring? Is it, let's say, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo? So you need to analyze and see the players who have been scoring mostly. One thing you need to know about this end-time goal scorer market, if a player is injured during warm-up, he doesn't feature, you always get your stake back. If it's a multi-bet,
it's void. It's void.
Yes. If it's multi-bet, that odd is cancelled and is resulted as no odd or just 1 or 1. Anything you multiply by 1 remains the same. So which teams would you advise maybe? Which players do you think they are?
Well, I think avoid Arsenal players because
they have scorers all over.
They have scorers all over. So if you want to win in this market, you try teams that rely on goal scorers. Like for example, Haaland for Manchester City has been a frequent goal scorer. He misses like 1 or 2, but in the other games he usually score. And then like if we go outside England, Højlund as well. If we go outside England, players like Mbappe and Harry Kane are more likely to appear on the score sheet because they are the main men for their team. So for Arsenal, don't try to play anytime goal scorer. Well, we go to market number 4, and we have a specific team over. So, for example, we will use the Arsenal vs Sheffield game, and you totally understand maybe Arsenal look like they can score many goals in that match. So, instead of going for total over goals in the match, you go for Arsenal over goals. And the odd for Arsenal over goals, or I'm using Arsenal as an example, it can be Manchester United as well, is usually very high because you are betting on a specific team. And sometimes it usually helps because in most cases, you'll find if you analyze properly, team over is always a saver because it has bigger odds as well. So team over is very, very important.
Maybe to add on that, you need to be very careful because in betting there is 1x2. 1 and 2, they mean 1 is the team at home and 2 is the team away team, right? So if Arsenal is playing at home, because that's the example you've picked, or if it's Manchester playing at their away, then it means you need to pick 2. So if it's specific, you say over 2.5, 2 for the away team. We'll be showing some of the examples like on us on the screen that you understand even better.
So some of the teams you can avoid when you're placing team over is like Manchester United, of course, because you can place, let's say, Manchester United over 1.5 goals in the game they played against Fulham. Guess what? Fulham scored 2, Man United scored 1. So you lose. So in such kinds of games where a team doesn't score many goals frequently, then you're gonna go for the whole game. But if there's a specific team that you think can score many goals, like we know the teams that scores many goals in the Premier League and all over Europe and even in the whole world, then that's when you use that team over goals.
Then market number 3, it's very easy. Many people have been using, but more safe. We call it double chance. Double chance means you give a team, you will lose your money when that team loses. So for example, Arsenal versus Porto. You lose your money if Arsenal lose. But a win or draw for Arsenal, you are safe. So double chance with the initials given in betting, it is 1x, x2, and there is 1-2. What do I mean by that? For example, in the last 10 matches, between Arsenal and Manchester United, they've all, at least Arsenal have lost or United have lost. I'm just giving an example because maybe it has not happened. So if Arsenal versus Manchester United, Arsenal have lost and they've won, they've never drawn, it's very safe you play with 1 or 2. So I'll give example. 1x means the home team to draw or to win,
Yeah.
you are safe. X2 means the away team to draw or to win, you are safe. And 1 or 2, it means either of the team to win, and there must no, we are not supposed to have any market, like, I mean result of
Draw.
Yeah. So it's 1x win, draw, x2 win or draw
for away
and
team.
1-2 away team to win or
So
home team to win.
Yeah, so if you pick 1 or 2, it means that if the game ends in a draw, you lose. So there's been a lot of people confusing, because when these markets, the double chance came into the betting limelight, people usually thought that when you say double chance, you mean you are giving away or home, like the 1 or 2 that you've spoken about.
Yeah.
So you find that there was that confusion, but remember, there are 3 double chances, as he said, and it saves lives, because there is a time, I think Manchester United was playing Stoke City, I remember, and Manchester United was on an unbeaten run. I think it was Mourinho time, and Rooney scored in the last minute to make it 1-1 against Stoke City. So I had gone for Manchester United to win or draw, and it saved my life. That's why double chance is very important in betting.
Yeah.
So we go to number 2, and it's close, or it's related to market number 3, but they are different. And this market is draw no bet. So how does draw no bet work? Draw no bet, as it says, as the name calls itself, it means you're not betting for a draw. So whatever you choose should win for you to win the game or to win the money. But if the opposite happens, then that's when you lose the money. So for example, Arsenal will be playing Manchester United at Old Trafford at some point. So because Arsenal are not going to win this game, you can play with Manchester United draw no bet. What does that mean? If the game ends in a draw, you get your stake back. But if Manchester United win, you get your stake. So you get your winnings, I mean. So the good thing with draw no bet is that the odds are also very much higher than the double chance, because you are playing, you're just saying like, if this game ends in a draw, then I want my stake back. But if Manchester United win against Arsenal, I want my winnings.
Yep.
The only way you can lose is when Arsenal wins the game. So
yes.
That is the draw no bet, and it's very good because of how the odds are usually better than double chance. So
Sure. And our market, betting market number 1 is over 1.5. That means you mentioned about we have goals still, we have goals, we have corners, we have cards. But now over 1.5, this is for the goal, right? Of 1.5, I'll explain. It is still the same as 0.5. Of 1.5, it means you are bet to win that team or that game you've selected, you must have at least 2 goals scored in that game. For example, like give example, you picked Manchester and Arsenal. So if the game ends 1-1, you win. If it ends 2-2, you win. At least goals to be scored in between for the first minute to 90th minute. That's what I'll emphasize as you wind up. So of 1.5 market means at least 2 goals to be scored in a match. Right? And then there is the opposite of that. You can also play with under 1.5. So that market is called over stroke under. So when you talk about under 1.5, it means that match should not get more
than 2 goals. It will be 2 goals and below. At least 2 goals in the match.
So
at most, sorry. At most 2 goals.
At most 2 goals. Just a review of what we've said. All these rules, these are football matches, right? And this is the trick. When game goes to extra time, maybe Remo can explain.
When the game goes to extra time, of course, they don't consider that. All these markets we're talking about, them being considered in the normal 90 minutes plus. The injury time that is usually added. Injury time is when a player is injured or the ball was out of play or things like those. There was an incident in the game where the ball was not in play. So that is the injury time. When the game goes to extra time, they don't consider that. But remember, there are some games or times where, let's say yesterday or that day when Arsenal were playing Porto, the game went to extra time. So you can find that the bookies are having this game still extra time but offering the markets. So you can play them as live games, yes. That is when you can also play them. But in normal betting, wherever you go, all these markets are usually considered within the 90 plus injury time, the full-time market.
Yes.
So, but I tend to like the over 1.5 market because it saves a lot of lives.
Yeah.
There's a time, I think, where you could have played, let's say, Arsenal to win the game, but when you go with over 1.5, it's safer because chances are sometimes you place Arsenal to win or maybe draw, as we've said, but in the first 20 minutes of the game, it's 1-1. So if you had placed over 1.5 goals, your bet has already won, and you are already going to your bank, to the ATM, to withdraw your money. So, but if you're playing like double chance, you have to wait the game until over goals.
We played double chance for Sporting. And in 30th minute it was 3-1.
It was 3-1.
Right.
So that's why we are putting over 1.5 goals
number.
And also remember that people play football, or teams play football to do what? To score goals, right? Exactly. So if it's to score goals, then at least 2 goals in a game is easy to get. That's why we had over 1.5 goals at number 1. So maybe you let us know what you think, because
before maybe you ask the fans, I just wanted to know, what's your favorite market?
My favorite markets, I like straight wins.
Straight wins.
I like straight. I know, you know, there's a difference between what I like and what I usually play more.
Or what favors you.
Yeah. Well. I know when I see a straight win, but it's very hard to find. Right. That's the problem. So I like when I say Arsenal to win against Porto, because I know Arsenal will put in a shift to win. Yeah. Because as much as we are saying over 1.5 in that game, which ended 1-0, did not play over 1.5, not over 2.5. No, so it also depends with your strength. If you are able to see that in this game, it's going to be very hard defensively, then you can also go for the 1x2 market and place a team to win. That is actually what I really, really like, because in football, everyone wants to win anyway. So the best teams that I know usually win. That's why I like that market. And you? I know it already. You had it at number 1.
Yes, I stopped playing. Actually, my favorite market is over 2.5 because of the odds.
Yeah.
But then again, over the weekend, I always have 2 bet slips and just saw them. I'll play over 1.5 for safe bet and over 2.5. The last time I played a straight win was in 2017.
What happened?
I was trying to analyze, and the over 2.5 market has better odds than sometimes straight win.
Yes,
right?
yes, of course.
Because it was Barcelona versus, was it Bilbao? 2017.
Yeah.
So I was trying to analyze, and I was saying Barcelona win or over 2.5, Barcelona win or over 2.5.
Yeah.
Try to check their statistics, and I felt at the end of the day Barcelona will win this match.
Yeah.
Right? And now I gave Barcelona straight win. That was my last. In the 16th minute, it was 2-0. So I knew for Barcelona to get this win, my over 2.5 will be safe.
Yeah.
That marked it.
That is when you began doing over
and
2.5.
They tried to pull one back in 30th minute, then before half time 3-1.
3-1 again.
So I have to wait for Barcelona to score 3 more goals to win.
Yeah.
And the importance of that is Manchester, I'll give you an example, Manchester and Everton, it was 1-1.
Yeah.
So for somebody who gave United win, he's expecting only United to score.
To score, yeah.
But for somebody over 2.5 or
he's
over
expecting
1, just
any team to score.
Any side.
Yeah, so but at the end of the day, it's your instincts.
Yeah.
It's betting, and nothing is sure. It depends with your instincts. So I think from 2017 up to now, you have learned more in terms of the teams that are more likely to give you over goals.
True.
For me, I know the time when to get in for a win. For example, if you check very well after this video is out, in our one of the bet slip section, I mentioned PSG to win. Yeah. They have been losing.
They've been losing.
And I am sure this is the time when they'll have to turn up to win. So it all depends with how you manipulate yourself. But remember, these top 8 markets that we have named for you are the markets that can give you money. And especially, even if they have small odds, there are bookies that have the bonuses. Yeah. So you can play as much teams as you can on your bet slip. And when they are a lot, and that's what we do actually on our train bets.
Yeah.
So also, you are watching at home and wondering why we haven't had a number of markets on our list. You probably understand more. And why not let us know in the comment section which markets we've left out that you like placing bets on, so that you save a life out there. And when you, if you're still watching this, probably like this content. So remember to hit that like button. Remember to engage with us and let us know what you are thinking back watching this. So do you have anything else?
There is a cousin of mine who loves funny markets. It's called Nicholas. So Nicholas, that is the time Leicester won the league, and he loved playing no goal in the first half, especially the tough matches.
Yeah.
So he was heading to watch the match, Man City versus Leicester City, and just approaching the hall, he had cheers from fans.
Yeah.
So he knew whatever team scores, I'm out.
I'm out.
That's why he went back home.
Yeah, it's very hard, you know, when you're betting and you're still going to watch the same game.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but that is it. So we remember we're gonna be having more betting classes as we go by. This is class number 2. As I said, remember to check out class number 1, and that is the end of it all. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next class. My name is Brian.
They call me Vincent.
And this is the Liquid Sports Show.